Yeah.
Okay. All right. Right. So we find ourselves in the middle of a quandary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to park the whole painting people issue, which is a shame because that's really a bad thing to have done. But we'll worry about that later. But you guys are also treating with the fact that there's been an announcement on the over the ship's systems that there's been an explosive decompression on various numbers of floors, including the one that your ship is docked on. Now, this might be irrelevant because your ship's, capable of surviving space, but it certainly creates a bit of a quandary in relation to getting to your ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, so,
Because we
sorry.
decided to sit in the middle seats and not in the bottom seats, so we don't have our gear with us for freezing.
We are amongst all the crew.
That's true. You're amongst the machinists of the first Osai.
What else could you need?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'd quite like a helmet that could allow me to breathe when I try to go to my ship, which currently has no oxygen.
Oh, it's your ship now, is it?
well, in the absence of, anyone else.
We will have to see what we can do about that.
Okay, well,
All right.
do you
We need-
want to borrow some exosuits, which are the spacesuits in this game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, well, how are the people around us reacting to this whole explosive decompression?
Does
Oh,
this happen often?
does this happen often? They do seem to be okay with it. I mean, obviously the machinists are shaking their heads. One of them sort of goes, "This happens far too often." Um,
I'm
uh,
feeling so confident about our journey.
but I mean, there's a fairly high chance these guys will have exosuits if you would like to borrow some.
Yes.
Absolutely. We need to check
And I
on that
feel
ship.
like Nilette actually, she has been working up until only a few days ago in the lighthouse out on the edge of base. Like,
Yep.
she has had training about what to do in these kinds of situations. She feels pretty confident about like what needs to happen.
Okay. Well, so the first thing the machinists do is go, "Yes, we have exosuits," and then one of the machinists goes, "And only for 20 rook you can hire them."
Oh, I see. I see. That's how it is.
Of course,
I
it
thought
seems
we
to
were
be the whole
friends.
thing here.
We are not
Yeah.
impressed.
Surely
Generosity
this
is
is only worth 5 rook.
Do you want to try and bargain down the rook negotiator? It's a legit. It's a legit play.
I'm sure somebody can do
Yeah.
that.
5 now, 10 if we survive.
Empathy, I think. Yes, empathy.
Oh no, my empathy is not great.
Yeah, neither is mine.
Well, you got the
Empathy of 2.
wrong crew for the negotiating because
Okay,
empathy's on my
well,
low list.
I will try because I've got an empathy of 3.
Yeah. So who's?
Yeah, same here.
Oh, so is Mike playing Pripyat?
Yeah.
Must be. Chris.
Yet again, Mike is the talkative one.
Yet again, Mike is the talkative one. Okay, you've got an empathy of 3, which is 3 whole dice.
Can Ben add to that somehow by standing threateningly in the background?
Yeah, why not? So not empathy. I reckon. Yep. You can. You just can. Yep. So you're going to stand menacingly in the background with your coiler rifle and look loomingly at them.
Oh, this is a ceremonial event, so of course I would have taken my polearm.
Oh yes, of course. So much.
Oh, wow.
It's so much more
Beautiful.
subtle. All right. Okay. Well, you've got your big axe. Your ceremonial polearm with you, and I believe, Aman, you can get an additional dice of. Look at my friend. They're helping.
All right. So, Aman, are you rolling this?
Oh, am I?
He's doing.
Yep.
I know. I've got it set
Well,
up. I can roll it.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm also saying to them, we don't have that kind of money, but we've got some on the ship, and doing the whole 5 now, 10 later if we survive.
Okay. Sure.
So I'm using my actor talent
Oh, nice.
to get +1 on the roll for that.
Okay. Go for it.
All right.
But we're all
now-
friends here, right? Yes, we're all friends.
Actually, I can click on the actual talent, can't I?
You can.
Yeah. And I can add 1 for Ben looking
assistance.
menacing.
Yep.
Yep. And away we go. Oh!
Did you get it? You got
2
two
successes.
successes.
Nice.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm
that
focused
sounds.
here. We've had a hull breach. I'm focused.
Okay. All right. Yes. This seems completely reasonable to them. They lend you 3 exosuits that don't require patching.
Oh, good.
Wow.
That would have been extra.
That would have been extra. You got it in one.
Yeah. All right.
But if you don't, if you're comfortable, they're comfortable. They will let you go forth. And yes, they
Excellent.
will rustle up 3 exosuits for you. They're just the standard exosuits, so they're not particularly flash exosuits, but you probably don't want super flash ones. You're hoping that it's just a little short walk across an, explosively decompressed area to your thing.
Absolutely. And I mean, I'm just thinking it's positive. We've actually got one that doesn't smell like, well, something had died in it. So that's a win.
Okay. All right.
Always
So
win.
they're big, heavy built things. They look kind of like they look like a sort of 1940s, 1930s vision of spacesuits.
Yeah.
Which look a little bit like diving suits, a little bit like the delving suits, but not quite as dramatic. They've got these big round sort of helmets, so you can actually look all the way around inside them. They're big bubble helmets, reinforced with metal. They're quite baroque in that there's filigree working around all of the metal bits. Each suit is made by hand and crafted, so each has its own unique flourishes. They're pretty bulky, and you have these big metal, magnetized boots and those sorts of things to treat with as well. All right, so they do have, however, comlinks, a lantern, and because you have the nice ones, they also have maneuvering thrusters in a little pack on the back, so you could, if you were forced to move around.
Alrighty.
Okay,
Wow.
so you kind of have 2 choices. You can sort of make your way down the levels, but the doors to the decompressed sections are now sealed. The ship has automatically sealed those sections off. You could breach one of those or get someone to set up a rudimentary airlock or something similar. Or close out or close one behind you, open one in front of you to sort of allow vacuum in. Your other option is actually to exit into the central sort of hull of the ship. So remember, the ship is kind of like internally, it's like a bit of a donut. So it's a torus with a closed top. You enter in through that bottom port area. But when you go inside, it's this big open to space zone, and the ships are kind of docked around the inner side edge of that torus. So
Like inside a blimp or something. If the
Yeah.
blimp had a bunch
Yeah.
of ships inside it.
Mhm.
yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah.
That's right. So you can imagine the hull of the ship is like a, I mean, it's not thin in this particular case, but it is double hulled outside and inside, and the actual inside space is open to vacuum in its own right, and you can approach that way. So you have two choices. Which do you want to use?
I'm most comfortable with the open
I-
vacuum myself.
kind of want to
I think,
go for the second one.
yes, I agree. I think if we were be busting up their ship this early in our journey, they wouldn't be too happy with us if we are not already on the out list
Okay,
from
all
the
right.
paint.
Cool. So you're going to exit through an airlock out into that central port zone, and then make your way along the inner hull, or you can use your little thruster packs to sort of traverse the distance. Now, remember, well, maybe, sorry, not remember, let me explain. You've just entered the slipstream, so that's what, well, the ship's hull failed when you entered the slipstream. The slipstream is like a giant river. So the ship has been buffeted left, right, and center. So it's not super safe, like it's safe-ish, but just to say, you will need to address that when you're traveling around the inside of the ship.
It's all relative.
It's all relative, exactly. All right. So who's taking lead here? So who has the talent? Does anyone have the talent exo? I think it's called exosuit or exo.
No, I don't.
I've got one that's exo specialist.
Yep, that's it. That's the one I was
That's
thinking
the
of.
one.
Thank you.
I think it might be me.
Is it time? Are we going to tether?
Maybe. I see I've got one plus one base die per talent level when handling an exo of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
So
one you want.
so you have so you get a bonus to your probably agility roll while you're in the exosuit making those types of maneuvers.
Good.
Alrighty. Well, that's cool.
All right. So, Nilette,
Yeah,
you're taking the lead then.
I sure am.
Okay. You all clamber down through a couple of layers of the deck. You come the ship's on minimal energy. It's not a lot, so you can't just take the lifts. You have to clamber down. You clamber down. You get to the floor you want to exit on. There's an iris valve kind of story with the into a chamber, and then you close that iris valve. You open the other one, and you step out. This is actually just a dock in effect. So you're just going through an unused dock to go out into the area. There's no need for, there probably is a need for some dedicated airlocks, but generally speaking, you just exit through the dock. So you step in, press the button, shunk, iris valve opens. You step up, press the button, iris valve opens. You step in, close the iris valve, open the second iris valve. You can now see into the center of the ship. It's all very pretty and lit up, which is weird because you're running on low energy. So why is the display lighting, for want of better language, on? Is a bit weird, but there it is. That's what's happening.
Obviously, the blessings that have been distributed have permitted us to have good lighting.
Correct. That's obviously the reason. All right, and then you can see that what has happened, the thing that's caused the explosive decompression, is one of the ships has been flung has in some way become untethered and broken its mooring, and it's actually torn out part of this docking mechanism. And so that is what has caused the explosive decompression inside the ship.
Right.
Okay. How close is our ship, by the way?
It's where you popped out. It's probably a good solid 10 minutes of traversing, so it's not actually very far. But you will have to traverse the open zone sort of to get there.
Well, that's where I'm heading because I know all my gear is there, like welding torches and repair kits and everything like that. All my stuff.
Yep.
And a proper exosuit that doesn't have weird patches all over it.
Yep.
So I'm keen to hop across there, but how close is this broken thing? Airlock.
Fair question.
Dock.
Are there any communications devices nearby? Sorry.
What do you mean by communication devices? What are you looking for? Because you've got comlinks in your helmets.
I meant so we can contact someone and say, hey, I think we found the problem.
You're actually borrowing crew suits.
That's right. So they'll have their channels there.
You could actually just tell them.
Right. Well, I think we should do that.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay, so you notify. So who does the notifying?
Hey,
I'll
do the notifying if you want.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
We've got a problem down here. We've got a loading dock. I think it's number 17 that has broken clear of the ship is broken clear of it, and it's caused a serious breach. We are going to try and fix the breach after accessing tools. Over.
Beautiful. All right. Okay, so this voice comes over. Good work. Well identified. Strongly suggest you pay particular attention. Has any of the filigree work on the port been damaged by the ship?
Priorities.
Please repeat. I misunderstood the request.
Has any of the filigree work on the port been damaged by the ship's untethering?
Well, part of the port is actually still attached to the ship that is adrift. So I would say affirmative.
Bugger. All right, well, just remember priority 1, maintain the appearance of the ship. A beautiful ship is a good ship.
Acknowledged. Over and out.
Perhaps if the exosuits go down 5 rooks each in price, the filigree might be a little more intact than otherwise.
Oh boy.
Oh, whoopsie. I think I've damaged some of the filigree while I was repairing it. If only I didn't have to worry about how much it was being charged for this suit. I would be able to concentrate better. All right, so you can see the unmoored ship. I'm going to roll randomly to determine 1 to 2. It is.
This is the other thing, is the ship's going to drift around and bounce into things.
Yeah. So 1 to 2, I'm going to rule that it's in the way right now.
Oh dear.
Oh, that didn't work because I didn't do it. Oh no, it's on the other side. You're fine. There is no ship between you and your ship.
All right.
So we can go to our ship. Do I need to roll the exo specialist thing?
You do. Because the ship is being buffeted by these cross currents.
And we're going for agility.
We are, and we are using our exo specialist talent of +1.
+1, so I get 5 dice to roll. Let's see.
And no successes. Would you like to push
Nothing.
that roll? You don't have any.
Echo.
You don't have any bad ones yet, anyway.
No, I don't. So definitely going to push that. Sheesh. Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, I just realised you need to. I'll just fill them all in for you so that it keeps count of them. All right,
yeah.
cool. All right, so.
So does that mean that I take days?
Sorry.
Since I push,
Days. Okay. Dazed.
do I have to take dazed as a
Because you pushed.
No, it's not like that. You suffer hope damage when you
hope damage.
when you
okay.
roll ones on your pushed roll.
Right.
This is not Vaesen. Although, hey everyone, the new the Vaesen PDF for Carpathia came out tonight.
Ooh.
I saw that. I think City of Nightmares was out tonight, and then the
City of
source book
Nightmares.
will be
Yeah,
out in a few days, they said. But yeah, I was very excited when I saw that as well.
Yes. Our very short Vaesen game is now up to session 19.
Nice.
And it's so much fun.
Oh,
We make our own fun.
we do make our own fun.
You're terrible people.
Oh, okay. I see. There we are, Stephen. So we're losing hope.
Yeah, but only when
When
you
we
roll
put-
ones. So you didn't roll any ones. So,
Oh, okay. So when I push, there's no impact?
well, unless you roll ones, in which case there can be quite a negative impact.
Okay. But that didn't, so it's good.
Yes.
So if you
Nice.
normally roll ones, it's not a problem. But if you push and you roll ones, then you get the negative impact.
Correct.
Okay,
That is
good.
exactly how it works.
Excellent.
Yes.
All right, she pushes off.
All right. So, yes, that's right. So you head out across the sort of open space. It's pretty easy going to the ship. So you get to the hull of your ship, and you're going, and you basically activate one of its external airlocks.
Yeah.
Or actually, you probably lower just the rear cargo bay doors from the outside because its nose point into dock, and you've got this kind of big cargo set of doors that lower from your ship, which is where your rover comes out of when you land on planets.
That's
right.
Because you got a cricket, don't you? Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So yeah. So your nose connected to the front. You've got the rear. You kind of press the button or remote control the vehicle to sort of lower the rear cargo doors to let you guys in. You've got the rover all chopped up so it doesn't move around while it's traveling. So it's all sort of braced and strapped in. Your ship seems fine. You can go in and acquire equipment, and then the three of you are going to head out to try and repair or at least do something to fix the floating ship that could actually potentially bounce around the inside of this ship in a unhelpful way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely do not need it damaging our ship before we even get to our first mission. That would be rubbish.
Should we pick up a few tools or anything while we're on our ship?
I think that is the
Absolutely.
plan. I think that is
Absolutely.
I'm grabbing my multi-wrench. I don't know what a multi-wrench does, but I've got one.
It sounds cool, so.
Yep, and you've got you can.
Good. I've got a multi-wrench and a deep scanner and a pickaxe.
I'm actually swapping my exosuit to my exosuit.
Okay.
So,
and everyone's frozen.
Then once I've done that, I just pick up the
frozen,
crate of
haven't
tools
I?
that I've got.
You haven't, Jess. We can
latched.
see you moving fine and hear you.
Oh, mine's gone black for Jess.
Oh, mine hasn't.
No, mine's good.
Oh, now she's frozen. Now she's frozen. Oh,
Rob is gone, but that's a different issue.
that's a different
Yep,
issue. Oh, there you are.
again, I don't know.
Hey,
You
again.
guys all froze. You're froze. Anyway, you're back now.
We are.
All right. So yes, I get changed. I grab my crate of tools, grab the pickaxe. Never know when you'll need a pickaxe.
You never. Might need to leave this shit open.
Yep. And away we go.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna grab the multi-wrench, and what does a deep scanner do? No, that's for delving.
I guess would we all get changed into our own delving suits, or?
Yeah, our own exosuits.
Yep. So you pressurize your ship because you don't normally bother to keep it pressurized. Because
the one thing about delving suits is they generally don't have thrusters or magnetic boots on them.
Yeah.
So,
sorry to ask, what is the difference between exosuits and delving suits? I did try to quickly look in the rules about it, but
so delving suits are explicitly built to reduce the impact of blight on you.
Okay.
And exosuits are actually spacesuits.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you use delving. So delving suits are built up with all this material to reduce the impact of the blight sort of nano virusy thing.
And they have built-in filters and all sorts of stuff against blight.
Okay, cool.
And an exosuit is actually literally a spacesuit.
Yeah. But it has things like maneuvering thrusters and magnetic boots for doing things in space.
Yeah, and specifically doing things in low grav environments.
Mm.
Actually, I think this would be the big difference if I was picking on something, which is that the what was I going to say? The exosuits are designed to operate in low G and zero G environments, and delving suits actually aren't. They're built to, like, they're bulky and heavy, but they're bulky and heavy and built to operate perfectly well in an environment with fairly significant gravity.
Yeah.
Whereas spacesuits generally do very badly if you're trying to wander around in them inside,
Yeah.
standard
All right.
gravity.
So basically, I just grab all my gear and leave the delving suit behind in the.
Okay.
Like, I'll take the exosuit with us as well, the spare one. You never know.
Also, I only just realized that's a young Rob in the background of that photo.
Which one?
Oh, so every time Jess freezes, like a photo appears for me.
Oh, it will be us from many years ago.
Yeah.
When Jasper was like a 2, and he's now 15, nearly 16. So yeah, it's a very old photo now.
Yep, and that's one with me sitting on the grass with Jasper, is it, or something?
No, it's when we were at Cowra at the Japanese gardens in Cowra.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's the one I've got attached to my Gmail account. So I just have never updated it.
Very young, yes, indeed.
Honestly, Jess looks the same though.
I know.
My face actually hasn't changed that much since I was about 13. So there's a few more wrinkles and it's a bit wider than it used to be. But apart from that.
Anyway, sorry for that distraction.
That's okay. Okay.
Right.
So anything else we need?
We're leaving our ship to go over to this other out of control, floating about ship.
All right. Probably a good thing to take care of the ship first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll keep on bouncing.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't want it bouncing into us.
Okay. So you're approaching this ship. It's pretty dangerous, right? Like, this is actually a dangerous thing to do. It's not a safe thing to do. The ship is moving. It might not weigh very much. It still weighs a fair amount. But, like, you do still have to deal with inertia and mass. So you can definitively be crushed to death by this thing moving around. All right. So Can
So
I?
we want to judge the angle we come in to try
Yeah.
and just close the gap whilst moving parallel to it is the ideal thing. And then just hit the magnetic boots when we get close.
Okay.
So that we stand on it.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. So you're going to flip over onto that ship and then use it to move around. You're going to move around on the ship. That's what I'm understanding.
It's a big target. Landing on the ship's probably the best thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The perfect situation is we move along parallel to it, we close in, we land right next to an airlock. That's the 3 successes sort of job there.
Okay. Well, can I get, needless to say,
An exo specialist role?
you got it.
Okay.
But I'm actually going to need agility rolls from anyone who doesn't have exo specialist.
Okay.
Now, before you roll,
Yeah.
because you've got the thrusters, you all get a bonus dice from the thrusters. So that's an
good to know.
additional dice.
No,
Alright.
that didn't modifier.
Oh my god.
2
Okay.
successes, Ben, L, Nasia.
And then, okay, fine.
All right, agility roll.
I tried adding for
With
the
plus
gear
1.
and it did not work.
For the gear.
Anyway, okay, I'm going to push that roll and hopefully there won't be
Yeah.
anyone.
Okay.
Uh-oh, there is a 1.
There's 2 ones.
But you succeeded.
There's a success and 2 1s. What does that mean?
3 hope lost.
It should take out your hope. And it has.
Oh, yeah, did it take out 3 hope?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made it. Except the hell.
Yeah,
Oh,
you got
thankfully I
1
haven't got
success. Yeah.
disadvantage.
Okay.
I'm just going to close Jasper's door.
It's all right, I'll take care of it. Right across the road.
Oh.
It is closed.
Oh my god, he's getting loud.
Yeah, I'll turn it down. You're
Usually it's the other way around with the parents telling the kids to be quiet.
Yeah, I get complained about on Wednesday nights. Um,
all
Jasper's
right.
having way too much fun playing with his friends online.
okay, so all 3 of you make the necessary agility roll.
Yeah.
One of you pays the hope lost price on that. But you're now all standing on the hull of this slightly moving, slightly waving ship.
Oh, we've got to get inside as soon as we can because we don't know what it's going to hit next and where.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's the plan here, guys, for stopping?
All right. Okay.
So how are the ships normally tethered to a dock?
So they literally have a coupling unit and they dock against the.
And so this ship, the coupling has failed. Is the coupling
No.
still
So
What
weirdly,
happened?
the coupling hasn't failed. The coupling is fine. It's actually part of the dock that has torn free, and it is still attached to the ship.
Yeah.
So we need to see if we can get the ship to detach from this coupling,
Yeah.
or whether somebody has to remove it externally.
Yep. So you're going to try and
Wait.
undo it internally first, and then if that fails, you'll have to work something out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
has the piece of dock torn completely away, or is it still sort of...
No, it's partially attached.
Okay, sure. So if we unlock it, it won't just be 2 big things bouncing around in there.
Terribly.
Okay.
No, but it's a
Then, like,
very good
tie
question.
down the other one. Okay, so we've got to get that detached, and then we could try to dock this ship to a free dock.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, that's the plan.
All righty.
Okay.
And hopefully we
Perfect.
don't get accused of stealing someone's ship.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So here's the first hurdle. People are untrusting people. So yeah, the ship's doors are not just open. They're not just going to open because you press the big red button that says "Open door, please." So to get
Yeah.
inside the ship, you need to actually defeat the current security system on the ship.
Okay.
If only we had an electronic lock kit. Oh, wait. He opens up his box of things. Actually, it's probably in my
on.
pocket, actually. Okay,
Oh,
we need to
it's-
find an entryway,
Okay.
like a door or whatever.
Okay.
Actually, do I know how these couplings work, having grown up around the dockside and being a hull guard?
And definitely not breaking into other people's ships.
Well, the question is, can I do something at the dock end of this equation rather than the ship end of this equation?
So you want to try and decouple it from the dock side.
Correct. More the point, don't really want to go on the ship unless we have to.
Well, we're going to have to because we're going to have to fly it to another dock to put it
That's
in.
true.
Do you think it's possible at all to just like try to shove the bit of dock back where it was and then just sort of make a really makeshift sort of way so it stays put until the better mechanics come here?
So, like, stick the eyeball in and put some tape over it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Lovely. Yeah. Well, I mean, I suspect we have to go to the... So
We
I
could
think I'm
use
better.
some of the filigree to like really bind up where it's broken.
Lovely.
Just
Actually,
rip
one of the
that
things
off
I'm
the
going to do is
board.
actually ask them how their dock system works. This is Aman on the recovery team. Can somebody please give me some information on the docks and how to retract a broken dock coupling?
Hold on a second.
The filigree is in peril.
Good Lord, man. Fix it.
It's
all right.
kind of like the whole thing of the fire department. They don't put out fires; they rescue cats from the tree. So in what was it? It was Spotswood, or what was the one? Tobey Maguire, and he runs in and goes, "Cat!" and they all go, "Oh, cat!" That's the kind of reaction I'm hoping for with the filigree.
Right. Yep. Okay. Got it. Look, there is an emergency release that will decouple the ship from the dock.
Right.
In the instance where that ship is a danger to the vessel.
And that is at the actual dock. Over.
Yep.
Okay. Acknowledged. Over and out.
Just be careful of the filigree.
I'm just not even good. Before he said over and out, the conversation stopped.
I don't think
All
you're
right.
listening, everyone.
Okay. First thing, this is how I can see it working. We find an access point on this ship. I open the electronic locks on it, and Nalette and Ben, you go inside because Nalette, you're a pilot, and Ben, you're
sort of.
big and intimidating, and try and get the ship going. I'm going to the other end of this line of cabling and debris to retract the clamps.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so you still need to
As-
get into the ship for this plan to work.
Alrighty.
Who
So-
is breaking into the ship?
Aman,
That'll be me.
Oh wow, it is you, Jesus.
There you go.
Wow.
I have logic
Okay.
as my second
And
highest.
you've got an
And a lock
electronic
kit.
and an electronic lock kit.
I spent all my money on. All my money went into that thing.
Hold on a second, he says. He pulls out this piece of archaic technology, jams it over it neatly covers over the electronic locking system on the outside of the thing. and then it proceeds to override things. It takes a bit longer than you were hoping, though. With only one success, it's not smooth, but you've got it. And yeah, then the iris valve or the rear dock to this vessel lowers, and you can see inside it.
All right.
All right, well, I'm going in.
Okay.
And Ben will follow Nilad, I believe you said.
Yeah.
Good luck.
And I'll make my way to the bridge and see if I can get this ship turned on.
We'll head over there.
Yeah.
To the dock.
Okay. All right. You go into the ship, and you're in the cabin. Can you make a perception roll for me, please?
Oh, yes, I can.
So can you, Lily, Ben?
There we go. Success.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
Success for you as well. All right, cool. Okay, so so you're in the cabin of this ship, and there's this there's a symbol that both of you recognize, sort of painted on the door going into the cockpit, which is a black toad.
Black toad.
Yeah, so this is like a demi-guild. They're basically a criminal conglomerate that operates across Jamua and surrounds.
I believe this might be slightly more complicated than we were hoping for, Nilad.
I feel that you might be correct, Ben. I really don't want to be on this ship, and I don't want them to know that I've been on this ship.
It may be a bit too late for that, but hopefully you can successfully pilot this without damaging it.
I will be trying my very best.
I believe in you.
All right.
For our sakes.
I believe in you, Nilad. Cassian said I had to.
All right, so you want to okay, so you're ready for when the decoupling occurs.
Yeah.
And
I've been I'm looking out to see like where's the nearest free dock. Or actually, or even I'm gonna ask over the comms like where the nearest free dock is that we should position
well, it's
it.
close. Like there's a few of them,
Yeah.
so it's fine. You can easily acquire one.
Right.
All right, so there's yep, so you've got the ship. All right, so Aman, you're going to find an entry point, go around to where the damage dock is, go into the damage dock, and wind out the emergency release.
Yep. And see if we can retract whatever it is that gets released.
Okay. All right, so make a agility roll for me, please.
An agility roll.
Yeah, because you don't have exo specialist, do you?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, doesn't matter.
I'm just good.
Go good.
All right, so you
The minimum required.
The absolute minimum required. So you make your way through the damaged parts of the hull. You get to the sort of semi-open to the space.
Because I figure I'm
dock.
kind of pulling myself along the umbilical cord of this thing from the ship to where it's docked.
Yeah, but you're not trying to go through a little crack in the dock, are you? Or
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that what
no,
you're trying to
no.
do? No, so
Yeah,
you've
that's right.
found another entrance and you've
Yeah.
gone around. So you've
Cool.
gone around and you've come out into the damaged dock. there's bits of metal and debris floating everywhere from the initial damage, which of course makes it a little exciting to move through.
Yep.
And then there's basically the way the ship decouples is you've got this, in effect, hydraulic clamping mechanism.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky, the electronics work, and if you're not lucky, you have to sort of use a sort of levery system to reduce the hydraulics.
Let's see how lucky I am.
Yeah,
Because I'm prepared for both of those options.
You've got a
So
pickaxe.
one's going to be easier than the other.
All right, so make a how lucky are you? Well, I guess we'll just find out. So, assuming you're going to try and use the
electronics.
The electronics, because you don't want to have to do it by hand.
Yes.
All right, so make a, and I'll let you use your electronic lock kick for this because you're trying to override the clamping mechanism. So go for it.
Alrighty. Don't want to do that. I want to roll it. That.
Oh,
all right.
Wow.
Yep, 2 successes. 3.
3 successes.
Oh, 3.
Hold my beer, he says.
One beer.
Oh yeah, this is exactly like they use back home. This is why you have standardization.
That is a gear dice that has rolled a 1. And if you roll a 1 on a gear dice and you've pushed, important comment, you take damage to your gear. It becomes less useful.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't come away from hope, it comes away from
the gear itself.
And basically it reduces the bonus pool of the gear. And if it goes to 0, the gear no longer operates. You have to go and get a new one or get it repaired.
That's
okay. Good. Excellent.
Okay. All right. So you have decoupled the locking mechanism. Can I get another? You're sort of quite concentrated on, all of this. Can I get a perception roll, please?
From me?
Yes.
Okay.
He says, bugger.
Can I use a lookout talent?
What does lookout talent do?
You get +1 base die per talent level for rolls for spotting approaching threats.
Yep, definitely.
Hooray! It's not what I wanted to hear, but okay. Here we go. No. Do I want to push it? What the hell? Let's push that if I can.
Okay.
All edgy and everything. Come on. Yeah, that's better.
Okay, so you lose 1 hope, but you do see the free-floating piece of metal heading straight for you while you're busy concentrating on disarming the mechanism. So you can
duck,
dodge, weave out of the way. Please make a agility roll to avoid being
dodgeball, duck, dodge.
Have your suit damaged by the floating metal. And indeed you do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. That's
ducking down behind the panel as something scrapes over it.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So you have decoupled the ship.
Should be clear.
Okay, Nalette, it's up to you now.
Oh my gosh. All right, what am I rolling?
Agility, piloting. If you've got piloting as a talent, now would be a good time.
No, I've got driver, and it's only for ground vehicles. So
that's not going to help.
Oh, I thought you could pilot. Oh, well.
Nope. I'm going to do my best.
Indeed you are.
Nice.
It's like...
We'll just use thrusters. We're not using the main drive.
That just like a...
Okay, so it takes you not very long, actually, to sort of peel away from the broken dock section and take the ship over to a different docking mechanism. Now, Ben, you have to run downstairs and sort of activate the docking clamps.
Okay. He runs downstairs and activates the docking clamps.
Awesome. Can you make a logic roll for me, please?
Oh dear.
Got any skills?
Actually, he's not so bad at this.
Oh, good.
Wow, you guys are on fire. No fails. All right, so you run downstairs and takes you a minute or two to work out exactly how these controls work, and you lock the docking clamps in. So at that point, you've got the damaged dock itself, sort of over on the other side of the ship, which Aman is standing in, but assumably can leave. And you've brought the other ship into safety.
Bravo,
So
team.
there is still a hole in the hull of the big ship. And so
Yeah.
you can like see the slipstream going past.
No, you can't because you're on the inside. You can't see
We're on the
anything that's
inside.
going on the outside.
Right. Well, good. But there is a hole out to the slipstream. Is that
Yeah, there's a breach on the
through the
outer
bottom.
hole.
Yep. If you go looking down around the bottom, yep, you can see the slipstream, as it were.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. I don't need to do that, but that is what is going on. Okay, cool.
Okay.
And now we've got to find out whether we're in the good books or the shit books with a bunch of criminals. I saved your shit. It's not damaged. It's all good. I didn't look at anything. I know nothing.
I opened no boxes on your ship. They are all closed.
All right. Well, we'll
Definitely
call it in
polished
going that the
controls.
ship Alpha 3719 is secure at docking bay 25.
Okay. Awesome. Well, good.
There isn't a scratch on the ship or on the docking bay. I repeat, filigree intact. However, docking bay number 17 seems to be somewhat destroyed and partially functional.
Okay. All right. So
Over. Head out. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right. So you guys decamp, and an engineering crew will come and repair the actual dock. Although mostly what they say is we're going to seal it off properly now, because they can make some repairs to it, but they can't fix it perfectly. They need to go to a ship's dock to get like people with proper equipment to come in and do that for them.
Somehow I get the feeling that they have a frequent flyer arrangement with them, or they punch card arrangement to get a free 10th fix up after going to these places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, can I get one last perception roll from the three of you as you are sort of, in effect, traveling through the vacuum zone?
Is this a threat in any?
No, it's not a threat.
Way?
No.
Oh, thank God for that. Yeah, one.
Nothing. I see nothing.
The adrenaline's still coursing through my veins.
Okay, so the two of you who made successes, you notice a dead body, so someone who was caught in the explosive decompression, floating sort of in one of the corridors off to one side.
Are they in a spacesuit? Are they just in normal gear?
They were in a ship's uniform. So those white uniforms that you've seen the crew wearing.
All right. Well, let's go and retrieve them.
Yep.
Ben will assist with the retrieval.
Okay.
You could probably just use your pole arm.
Horrified.
Okay. So this person, have they got a pass by any chance on them?
If they could.
We searched the bodies.
Yep, they've got a
You
pass.
said that, like, I mean, I guess we assumed they were just caught by the explosive decompression.
Yeah.
Ben's probably used to seeing wounds and that sort of thing. Giving him a quick look over, does it look consistent with explosive decompression
Yeah, it
death?
does actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They were obviously just nowhere near a spacesuit or any form of breathing apparatus when the ship
This happened. Yeah.
when that decompression event occurred. You've acquired a pass, Amar,
Cool.
that you've stolen from them. They don't actually have very much else of anything on them because they're basically just crew wandering around. They're not carrying a whole stack of kit.
Tablet maybe, and that's about it. And a snack bar.
And a snack bar. But yes, also your cursory examination has illuminated. So each shift of the crew, these OSI, these different shifts, has a unique number. So it's 1, 2, and 3. So this guy is actually from the first OSI. So he's from that first shift. Which is the engineers, the mechanics you met are part of that first OSI as well.
All right. Okay. I mean, I guess the question is this just an accident? Or is this negligence and an accident? Or is this a deliberate thing that's happened?
Well, how much do you want to investigate? So you guys can literally, you've got like weeks here, so you can actually do a fairly decent job of like actually sticking your noses around.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, the question is, what incentive do we have to do that?
Half the time. It's very boring.
Nothing like a murder mystery to pass the time.
I'm keen. What really happened here?
You've got my interest. I mean, personally, I don't like the idea of shoddy workmanship or negligence on ships, especially on the hulls. This is why we have this vigilance of hull guards.
The
This
real
is why
enemy was
we
capitalism all
stand there
along.
looking for the breach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I can reassure you the real enemy here is not capitalism. It's older.
Far older. Oh,
Far older.
is it the kind of thing that that's going to upset Moristo being old?
Just old-fashioned greed.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say it predates capitalism because it's actually about style over substance. Which has brought down many an aristocratic family over the hundreds, if not thousands, of years that people have been doing those sorts of things. So, all right.
Okay.
So you have brought the body back. Cool. The ship, in effect, goes back to normal. If you guys, are you going to pass the time by investigating? The quality of the ship and why this occurred? Is that actually what you're going to do?
Well,
Yeah.
I think one of the things is we need to gauge if people actually care. But yes, I think we should.
Yeah.
It's better than doing a coloring book.
I think Nilly is quite a curious young woman, and she wants to know, like, what really happened.
Not
Okay.
on my watch, she says. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, well, we can do that.
Yeah. Get to know these mechanics a bit more.
Yeah.
Since we've already sort of started to get to know them a bit because at the captain's dinner.
If all of his shift mates were supposed to be at dinner, with us, then, you know, how was he out there at that time?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Indeed.
like, there's still crew wandering around the ship doing ship shit while the captain's dinner occurs, but it's minimal crew.
Yeah.
So that's why they were out. All right, so you guys are gonna try and, for want of better language,
Conduct an inquiry?
yeah, conduct an
Yeah,
inquiry. Are you gonna
It's amateur sleuth hour.
It's amateur sleuth hour. Okay, so how do you
Excellent.
want to start amateur sleuthing people?
Oh, well, I think we definitely just want to be really friendly with the mechanics people, like make sure that we sit with them
Yeah.
at any further meals and just be like, oh, we're so sorry about finding that poor mechanic was caught up in the explosion, and like tell us all about him, and
Looks at
was
the
he a
Jamal
good
El
mate?
Masri is his name. Looking at the pass.
Okay, and you
Yeah.
have stolen the pass.
No, we have collected the pass. We're just retaining it.
Right, okay,
As
I was about
evidence.
to say, so you're not giving
Borrowing
it.
the pass.
I was about to say, so when you say
Definitely.
you've collected it, you're not giving it to someone straight after that.
Nobody looks trustworthy enough.
I don't trust any of these people.
They can't even keep their hull intact. Why would I trust them with such an important piece of evidence?
No, more than fair. All right, so,
And plus, this lets us nosy around.
Yeah.
And Ben will befriend them in the ship gym.
exactly, going down to the gym, working out together,
Yeah.
in your sweats, as it were. Can I get who's? I mean, you do get a bonus because you did rescue the body. So who's going to be talking to the engineers, noting that your two best talkers are currently out of action?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they are engineers, so could we use our logic?
To build a rapport with them, okay. Just to
Yeah.
build a rapport, I would use my jury rig skill to talk about quick fixes and all that sort of stuff. And
Yep.
whatever the main skill is, logic or empathy or whatever. To just talk to them about different uses of duct tape and other fasteners, welding, best welding torches.
Whatever their version of WD-40 is.
Absolutely.
And my specialty is, one of my talents is mechanics, so like I could definitely talk mechanic stuff
my
with
God,
them.
you should be talking to them.
I am talking to them.
Okay, well, why don't you talk to them then?
I'm gonna be, just like really getting to know them based on like shared interest in mechanical things.
Okay, so
Excellent.
you get a bonus for the talent. You get 2 dice of bonus for we rescued your dead, dying mate. So that'll give you 3 dice, but then you're rolling empathy.
Okay. So I'm rolling empathy, but I get 3 extra.
See.
And can I assist?
Can you assist? Sure.
Based on
How
my
are you
conversation.
assisting?
Oh, look, I'm basically just reinforcing her conversation.
Okay.
As per the previous statement I said of
Jury rigging.
duct tape, jury rigging.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so an extra bonus die, Jess. So that's 4 dice of bonus
4,
dice.
so I've got like 7. Okay,
To
cool.
your
We're gonna win
empathy.
these guys over. Win them
Do
over.
it. What the hell?
No! Do you want to push that?
What the hell?
I do, even if it makes me very sad.
Even if I get sadder than a sad person?
Whoa! That was a good push.
Nice.
Far out.
Now I'm going for
Can we-
hope. I hope there's a way of getting hope back.
Can we be friends?
I'm really losing hope, and losing faith in humanity. I'm like, this is just disappointing.
You people are awful. That's where you're
Disappointing.
Killing
going,
me,
right?
Smalls. You're killing me.
Yeah, like the last 2 weeks of my life has been terrible. I've never ever had such a terrible time in my young life.
Yeah, you never imagined this is how it would end.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's because your LED went out
Mm, mm,
during the rescue or something.
Check your hat. Have you checked your hat recently?
No, I haven't checked my hat.
Oh, needs a repositioning, a reseating.
A resetting. But like my little hat is the symbol of the lighthouse keepers. I'm like, my life has been done.
Okay. Well, you just need to do that. So, all right. So, you're able to make friendly contact with the first Osai, which is primarily like there are machinists in every Osai because you need mechanics in every shift. But this is kind of their shift. Like this is where they're most prevalent. Now the Machinist Guild, while technically equal to the other guilds, certainly doesn't wield the same amount of raw political authority as the gardeners or the navigators. So they're a bit the poorer cousin. All right, so yes. Right, so yeah, what do you want to know? Says the first amongst equals.
Well, like I said, like we want to know about their compatriot, their colleague who passed away. What kind of person was he? Like, just trying to be really friendly. Like, oh, tell me all your memories about this guy. Like, what was he like?
They were a great person. Yeah, look, solid worker. Not actually part of the Machinist Guild. A sort of bursary type person. So technically, part of the Navigators Guild. But definitely one of ours. Definitely one of the first Osai.
Right. So first Osai, but actually from the Navigators Guild.
Yeah, because I'm part of the Purser's unit.
Right. And the next thing I'd be want to ask about is about like what kind of work did he normally do?
Well, pursuing, he says
Pursuing.
with a completely straight face. You know, you're on mute, Rob. Tell us what you really think, buddy.
Yeah, helping people around the ship, doing the hospitality thing of making sure cabins are cleared and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
Did they? By the way, did I take it they've repaired their hull at least so it's holding intact, or have they just left it open?
Are you checking?
Oh, I'll just ask them. So you guys have secured that hull?
Oh, yeah, as much as we can with the equipment we've got to hand, he says, and he looks at the other guys and they'll go, yes, exactly, with the equipment we've got to hand.
I just get the sound of duct tape going through my head.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that has kind of piqued my interest. What do you mean, like, the equipment you've got to hand? Like, don't you have the equipment you need?
Well, he sort of reaches over, like, you're not a navigator, are you?
No. God, no.
Seriously?
All right, we can...
Up until very recently, I was a lighthouse keeper, but no more. Now I'm an explorer.
Which technically makes you part of the Navigators Guild, but let's
Yeah,
not...
I mean,
Well, I don't know that.
Stationary. That was
I've
the.
been out on the edges of space for like all my life until now. I don't
The
know anything about
navigators
anyone.
own and operate all of the lighthouses spread through space. Matter of fact, their center of power is the big one at the top of the ship city.
Oh, yes, that's right.
The giant tower with the big blinking light on it. It's a bit of a
But
giveaway. Yes, well, look. You just tell him, no, I'm not a navigator.
no.
Are there any navigators here today?
No navigators around here.
No. Well, you're not anymore. At least not one in good standing.
No.
Yeah. Look.
They seem to frown on you taking hallucinogenic drugs on your shift, even if you didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, classic. They this ship is not properly maintained.
Right. So technically they know what they're doing from our conversation, our intro conversations and things. So they are actually skilled machinists. They just don't have the right equipment to repair things. Is that how I'm reading this?
Well, that's how you're reading it.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, gauging by our conversation with
Mhm.
how many successes again? 3?
3. Yeah.
Surely Nilette can gauge whether they actually know anything about engineering or whether they just clean the toilets.
Like if you get into it, they're competent. They're not super skilled. They're certainly not like amazing. But yes, their quibble, their complaint, if you will, is that the captain is far more interested in appearances than keeping the ship properly maintained.
Yeah.
And also, any loose equipment is sold.
Right.
Because the crew have to pay for their own uniforms.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So anything that's, and pay for, making sure that that their cabins are appropriately managed and appearance is maintained.
Right. They're using the service desk model. Okay.
So basically, so every time, so yes, that's what they share with me.
Wow.
Which would also mean they're probably providing their own tools and consumables, i.e. supply. Right.
Yeah, and then they all of that is then used for appearances. Yeah. So that's kind of what they tell you with 3 successes.
Okay.
Wow. I'm so so disappointed for them. That they are being treated so shabbily.
Shabby. It's shabby as shabby could be.
Shabby.
It's extra shabby, even, if I can put it that way.
I think Nilette is really, that is what I'm feeling. We need to unite. She's been so innocent up until just a few weeks ago, and then having her own terrible workplace experience of being bullied and then being dismissed and just feeling very hurt and put upon by that, and just seeing other people being treated badly at work is really triggering her to be really cranky.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, so you've got empathy for these people.
Absolutely.
And
Not good enough.
Ben, how are you? Where are you at, buddy? Where are you feeling, re the put upon mechanics?
Well, appearances are important, but it's nothing compared to the muscle or mechanics that's underneath it. He thinks this is a poor way to run a ship. However, I guess he's a bit more thinks just, this is just how the way things are. It's unfortunate, but there's not much you can do to change it.
Okay. All right. Well, you found out this information.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm starting to wonder is, was this guy who died knowing that the ship belonged to a criminal cartel?
Mm.
Was he going to that ship to try and find stuff that he could steal from them to then sell on the black market, to then get stuff to meet the needs of the first Osai?
Are you going
Since it sounds like
that's a whole stack of supposition. What are you going to do to prove it?
I know. So this is what I'm just
Why the black toad ship?
I wonder if this is what really happened. And now she's starting to think about how could she prove it? And does she want to prove it? And who would she tell? But she's really curious.
No, I'm wondering why out of all of the ships available, it was the black toad one that was blown free.
Well, that's what I think. It was
Yeah.
that. And then, maybe the black toad ship was booby trapped because they were worried about somebody trying to break into their ship. And that was what caused the explosive decompression, was the booby trap.
There's a lot of better ways to do that if you're the black toad without casting your ship around to scratch the paintwork.
Well, I'm sure it's not their intention.
It does sound like it was just the ship is, I don't know, just painting over the rust, more or less.
Yeah.
Or LEDing over the rust.
So high and mighty. Exactly. Okay.
And it probably happens like every voyage from what we were hearing.
Yeah, well, the thing is, all right, so let's talk about whether the captain should be responsible for the crew on his ship, and one dying recently, stacked up with others, is actually something that they could be responsible for. I don't know the big words for it, but yeah, it's something to do with the law and caring for your crew.
Yeah. What are the expectations on the actual captain, and who are the captains actually answerable to?
So all captains are members of the Navigators Guild. There is one exception to that statement, but basically all the captains are Navigators Guild. There's one ship in particular that is run by the Coriolites, and the captain is a member of the Coriolites. But the rest of the ships are explicitly Navigators Guild, as are the first officers, as are the actual pilots of the ships.
Yeah.
And so if someone was to make a complaint about a captain, that would have to go to the Navigators Guild.
Correct.
With evidence.
With evidence.
I guess this is probably something we'd have to do on getting back to Ship City.
Yeah, absolutely. But we should collect evidence now of the poor state of repairs of the ship.
Correct.
Yeah, if we have the equivalent of cameras or something, every time we see I don't know, something really dodgy, we can just snap a quick photo of it or something.
Okay, so
we can check the logs, for example.
Yeah.
All right, so
maintenance logs, etc. Yep.
So just to find basically things to photograph, I need perception rolls with bonus if you have machinist or mechanic or those sorts of things, so you can get a bonus to your perception roll if you can, to showcase you know it. Getting access to the logs is either a sort of social exercise or a slightly thieving exercise.
Right.
Like as in persuading someone to give you the social, exploiting someone to gain access to the logs, or exploiting a system to gain access to the logs.
Yeah.
Unsurprisingly,
Wow, okay.
Ben
On my
sees
perception
nothing.
roll. Okay.
All right, sorry, what was that,
Wow.
Lily? What did you say?
Oh, I just said unsurprisingly, Ben sees nothing.
Ben sees nothing.
All right, sorry, what were we rolling for?
Perceptione.
Perceptione. No threats. All right.
I mean, I'd say that the ship being like a hunk of junk is a pretty big threat. Just putting it out there.
Fives. All fives.
All fives. So that's a no,
Yep.
but Nalette, who's an expert in ship repair and support, is able to rapidly. So you're taking photos, or surreptitiously taking photos, I should say, sorry.
Yeah.
Surreptitiously taking photos of damaged parts of the hull and poor repair and thing. So
Yeah.
as
So
you
poor practices of things being done. Yeah.
so as you explore the ship and start to locate all this, you realise the ship is in pretty poor repair. Like it's not,
I don't feel very safe on this ship.
but it
This
is
is why I
very
said I'm
pretty.
sleeping on the ship.
It is very pretty.
Mm.
Now, the first Osai, like they're helping you find this stuff.
Yeah.
How much are you sharing back to them about how bad you think the ship is?
Can I roll some insight to see how how they feel about me,
You can.
or how trustworthy I find them?
Are you going to insult them by saying their ship is a piece of shit?
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Oh, I got a 6.
Okay, all right.
Wow.
So you did it again. Okay, so you got one success on insight. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're. So you know they'll be pretty receptive to the information, and they certainly aren't going to seek harm against you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to be like fairly open with them that I think this is a really big problem and it can't be allowed to stand because too many people's lives are at risk.
Okay, so you're definitely recording all this information. You're telling them
Yeah.
that. Are you going to share? But I guess my question, sorry, is: are you just giving them access to your data file log, or are you?
Probably not that because I want to keep it really secure.
Okay.
Because I'm worried that somebody might like figure out what I'm trying to do and like take it from me or destroy it or harm me or something like that. But verbally, I'm definitely telling them that I'm quite worried about the state of things and that even after we've gone, like they need to keep recording everything separately from like ship logs. And that I'm going to tell them that I'm planning to report my findings to the Navigators Guild. What good that will do, I don't know. But I'm like, this is not okay. Yeah, like, this just cannot go on because the ship is going to collapse and all of your lives will be at risk.
Okay, so yeah, you are getting quite excised.
Yeah,
You've got
very
you've got the
excited about it
evidence. Yeah. All right, so you've collected that. What about Ben and Aman? What are you guys doing while this lengthy conversation.
I want to actually inspect some of the areas where the breaches have happened. Yeah, I mean, I haven't got a lot of people skills, so
Mhm.
I have a lot of machine skills and
Okay.
electrical skills. But I do have a pass as well.
You do.
So I actually want to go and just look around at, because Nerlet's now got locations, is that right?
Yep. Where the damage is most significant.
Yeah. So, well, actually, the first thing that Nerlet and I really should do is go through those and see if there's any patterns of stuff happening. But also,
Oh no, can you use that pass to try and access the like computer system to like get to the logs?
yeah, but if it was, well, I think it would be a one-off and you'd have to lose the pass potentially after using it, because systems track logins and things like that. Of course, unless the system is badly maintained and broken.
Well, it could
The
be.
system administrator got sucked out of the last hull breach, that sort of thing. But the other thing is medical records to see who actually died, and then see if there are any incidents with particular people and the captain.
Okay, make a logic roll to access the system.
All right. I'm gonna use the pass, so does that give me a bonus, a gear bonus?
Yeah, gives you
Just to get in.
a dice. Yep, just a dice.
Yeah. All right. I'm so gonna push that.
Okay, go for it.
Come on, baby. No.
No.
Oh, actually, so just one question. All my health dots have to be filled up?
Yeah, they should be full.
Okay, I haven't filled them up because I suddenly saw my hope disappear. I'm going, hang on. All right, good. And my hope's off there. That's that. Cool.
Okay. So you are. So you
Cool.
use the pass to access like a cruise section of the ship,
Yeah.
and you're busy hacking away at a terminal. You've got your little, widget that's good for unlocking things.
Oh, I didn't add that to the roll, so
I
I'm
just
not using
mean in general.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay.
It's not actually a key. Like it's not actually a
Yeah,
lock.
yeah.
But anyway, you're accessing a system terminal in the crew quarters when two guys in white uniforms sort of rock up. Notably, they're wearing second OSI numbers on their lapels and shoulders and other things. So they're not part of the first OSI who you've had reasonable connection with.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Oh, thank God you're here. I can't get my password to work and the scan and everything isn't working on this thing. You guys, great. Can you just let me in?
and then you go, shit, I need to persuade these guys about
Okay.
something.
Oh,
So that would be empathy.
yeah. One success.
One success. All right.
Did they fall for your sob story?
So you
No,
realise
I've
that the
frozen
card
again,
has
haven't I?
been deactivated, by the way.
Oh, good, because I found that card.
Sorry, Lily, what are you saying?
I don't think that Ben's there. I just typed. Actually, I was just remembering a Simpsons episode, but anyway.
Nice.
And who can? Oh, yes, it's my first day. Nice. Yes. It's my first day. Obviously, the onboarding hasn't worked, but yeah.
Hey, because you're not actually wearing a crew uniform either.
No. That would be stealing if I had one of those.
It would. They look at you for a second and go, "Who are you?
I'm a man.
Which Osai are you from?"
I'm not. I'm a guest on here, and I found this card.
Then what are you doing at a crew terminal?
Is this a crew terminal?
Yes.
Shouldn't you have like a bursar to help with this sort of thing?
Well,
Oh my God. Is this the guy that was killed recently? Holding up the card. There's probably
Okay.
some bad looking photo of this guy.
oh yeah, one of the
Oh,
first Osai died. Yeah, got done. Yep.
What? So why is his card like lying around here in the open for me to find?
Well,
This
I
is
mean, it must have. I mean, those first Osai boys, they're sloppy.
but this is a security matter. The body that
Yeah.
we found and we brought to you should have had the card on it.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
don't know what's meant to be on your guys.
No, that's
I'm
right.
edging
Yeah.
towards the door.
Sort of stepping away.
I'm not a small man, by the way, with strength 6.
Well, you're not a small man. You're
No.
gigantic.
Ben and I probably have like arm wrestles every now and then to
see.
to check.
No, look, no, we'll need the card.
Sure, I'll take the card. I don't want the card.
And
But how is it even possible I even got into this cabin? There didn't be possible. I'm not crew. Why are you allocating me a cabin here?
Well, we're not allocating you a cabin here. You're not meant to be in the crew quarters.
But this crewman said I could come here and stay here.
Which crewman?
I don't know. Someone who was wearing a blue suit with lots of little trimmy things and little decorations and frilly bits.
They looked at each other for a second.
That pretty much covers most of the
It does.
crew.
Yeah, it's pretty much everyone.
Dark hair.
They're about this high.
Roughly. That's right.
I couldn't tell if they were male or female or non-binary. They were something around that space.
It's not. It doesn't matter. So, can you at least escort me back to where my friends are, or at least into the main area, and I can find my way. Hopefully.
Look, it's a lot of work to find whoever you're traveling with and come with you. So that'll be 10 Rook.
Not really. Yeah.
Otherwise, look, we'll just get you to the door and you can just leave.
All right. Sorry for the trouble, my friends.
Oh, look, it happens all the time. People getting assigned the wrong doors and security not working properly. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
This is a little bit of I don't know. I feel like everything is just a little bit wound up the wrong way.
What? No, we're super relaxed, man. Like, a second Osai taps his shoulder twice, Captain loves us.
Compared to first Osai, hey?
Yeah, first Osai. That's right.
Right.
We only tapped them once. No. Second Osai all the way.
Go second Osai. You've
Go
been
second Osai. Look,
wonderful, my friend.
I mean, those, don't worry about it. Like some of these, these first Osai guys, they probably had it coming. I mean, they don't dress properly. They don't take care of themselves. They don't brush up.
I know you just look fantastic.
Thank you.
Second Osai is where I'd want to sit.
Yeah, absolutely, because we carry the honor of the ship on our shoulders. Points to both tasseled sort of
Epaulets
boards.
and things.
Yeah, the boards that come across. Yeah.
Wow. I'm so glad to have met you. You're an inspiration to us all.
Now, no, we are.
And,
I mean, we
and
accept
I
that.
edge around further and, well, I'm glad I could help you.
And it's like pressing
Goodbye.
the big red button desperately behind you. All right, so you weren't able to glean anything and you've lost the card.
Yeah.
Ben, are you doing anything to help this incredibly brave decision to investigate the fundamental corruption that's undermining the entire great ship?
Um, pro- honestly, I've been trying to think of something that he could do, and I'm kind of coming up empty. So I'm going to say that he leaves them to their own devices, and he spends most of his time in the gym or in the like fighting. I don't know, just training with other guards and stuff like that.
Okay, nice. So you're in the gym. There's a couple of guys who are pretty. So they keep on turning up to the to sort of like the fighting components of the gym. They're not so interested in the other bits. What's his name?
Well, that's their first mistake, amateurs.
Exactly. Is it this guy? Yeah, it's this guy. They're kind of led by this person, Zara Vandal, who's pretty skilled, like really skilled. You can, I mean, I guess the question is like he's keen to challenge anyone and everyone. So, would you accept a challenge from Zara?
Do I know anything about him?
Not a lot. You can make a perception roll to notice useful things about him,
Okay, I'll try that.
or you can ask around.
Can I do both?
You sure can. That's a no on the perception roll, I guess.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a fail on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
Do you want to do the empathy roll now for the asking around?
I mean, for what it's worth, I'll try, but yeah, no.
No.
Okay. I think that seeing that black toad, that got him a bit on edge.
Yep.
So if there's these people who are really good at fighting for no clear reason, where possible he might steer clear of them.
Are you suspicious of their backgrounds?
That would be one way of putting it, yes. If he doesn't, with no other information.
Yep.
And also just the fact that they stand out from the other, I assume most ships have guards and things, and they're all
Yeah, they're definitely not crew from the ship.
I just meant, I assume we're not the only ship of explorers.
No, and don't forget there's also the stupidly rich Coriolis on the ship who bought his own ship to the vessel, and he will have... Well, actually, Ben has previously worked as a bodyguard for such a person. So yes. They will also have bought guards with them.
Okay. Look, if he's directly challenged or something, then, his pride probably wouldn't let him stand down from that. But otherwise, he's not going to put himself out there, let's say.
Okay. All right. I kind of feel like if you could make a stealth roll, like sort of an agility roll.
Agility.
Do you have any good stats? Well, you've got good agility.
Yeah, agility is my best one.
Oh, okay. Well, but you just still didn't get a success.
No.
Okay. All right. You're probably not able to hide the fact that you're a very large, very fast sort of fighter for very long. So about a day or two in, Vera comes up to you. They're not as big as you. They're probably as fast as you. And basically wants to spar with you. Because most of the people here just aren't fast enough.
Very well then.
So do you spar with like with a sort of staff as you would with a pole arm, or do you spar with fists?
I mean, what do they want to do?
Well, they're not looking to. They're actually, look, despite their appearance and their pretty aggressive nature, they're actually not trying to hurt themselves or you in any particular way. So they're pretty keen to use just their fists, not like a staff, which has all sorts of repercussions that could be quite
Dominate
nasty.
through strength.
Okay, Ben will have a boxing match with them then.
Yeah, pretty much. So make a it's up to you, strength or agility roll to indicate your sort of relative level of success. If you've got, you don't have a brawling skill or anything like that, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay. Oh, just roll whichever one of those two you like the best of then.
Okay. Ben will go with agility.
Ooh, success.
Got one
One
success.
success.
Okay, so you hold your own. You're not knocking it out of the park. Like, you're not one punching the guy. He's, how many dice did you roll for agility? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, oh no, that was strength.
What did I? Oh,
You
damn!
rolled
I rolled
strength.
a 1 wrong.
Do you want to roll one more die? You can just roll a dice from the bottom if you want.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. What's it doing? Sorry.
No, you're right.
Okay.
No, didn't help.
No.
Okay, so you and him spar. He's very, very fast, and not as big as you. He's only got strength 4, not strength 5. He fights. So make a perception roll. Okay. So his style of fighting suggests that he's used to fighting with some sort of knife or blade. He's very, very fast and does lots of really quick striking actions, sort of facing forward.
Well, seeing as Ben also has Blade Fighter, I guess that would be, he'd be.
Yeah, so you're
spot
very similar in style because he's got Blade Fighter too. So you're both exceptionally similar in style. Interestingly, his style is hyper aggressive. Like, there's literally no parrying in it at all. He's just pure aggression. The other thing you notice is he's got a black toad tattoo on his
I was
neck.
waiting for that.
While you're fighting with him, he's clearly got a black toad tattoo imprinted on his neck going down into his shoulder.
Yeah, the classiest tattoos are on the neck.
Yeah, straight there,
Mhm.
sort of half exposed over the collarbone and up onto the neck. So the toad sort of stretches out across his shoulder and over onto his neck.
Wrapping his
Okay.
tongue around his neck.
Okay, so so at the end of that, you've got you've collected information about all the damage of the ship, but you haven't been able to find any logs or anything that backs it up. And Ben has met the person who might be on that black toad vessel that you that you saw. We're going to stop there, partially because I was up at 4 a.m. this morning trying to sort things out for work, so that was reasonably early. It's been a somewhat long day, but hey, in accordance with every second session for experience, do we want to do the experience thing?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, you could develop skills and become more talented than other things.
Woohoo.
Exactly. Excitement plus. So I'm just. Oh, where's it gone? Where's the experience table? I had it a second ago. Oh, it must be before this section. They always put experience at the weirdest place.
Yes.
League.
I
Oh,
agree.
there it is. Okay. Did you participate in the last session? Yes. One experience.
Yes.
Did anyone feel that they particularly role-played their quirk? I think we've had a bit of a weird conversation about quirks. Could have been last
Not
session
this
or this
session.
session. Yeah.
Last session, I definitely did.
Yeah, with the hat. Remember that well?
No, and well, the cloak of many snacks.
Oh, that's true. We haven't seen the cloak of many snacks this session. But we did have it last session. I agree.
Yeah.
Lily, did you role-play your quirk?
I don't think so. I mean,
What
we
is your
went to
quirk?
the dinner, but I don't think he did anything particularly special for it. So
Okay. What about Amon?
I tend to speak we instead of I a lot.
You
And
did that last time, but not this session.
Yeah, so I mean I did a little bit, but it's very subtle. My quirk will build. People get suspicious.
Okay. So maybe no. Did you explore an unknown location? No, because you haven't left the ship. Did you investigate a mystery? Yes. Yes, you did.
Very specifically.
Did you instigate or participate in intrigue?
Oh,
Not quite yet, but it's coming.
not
I
quite
can
yet.
feel it.
I don't know. I kind
Yeah.
of feel that at least Aman did.
That's true. Aman was sneaking around the back of the ship and stole cards and tried to use them to take information.
Borrowed cards. Okay. So
yeah,
yes.
so that's 3. Did you help another explorer? I think you all did, so I'll give you that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you overcome a difficult challenge? I don't know if it was difficult.
Well, with all of us with 3 empathy talking to people,
That's true.
gotta say Nolette with her 3 successes.
On 4 dice.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right, I'll give you that one as well. Did you interact with your affiliated factions?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't think
No.
any of you did.
What faction am I in? I didn't even know.
Well, you're a Navigators Guild. We've had this
Navigators
conversation.
Guild, that's right.
Literally, a whole conversation was had about this very topic.
Yeah. Like, no, the opposite of that.
Yeah.
I might be going, oh, I am associated with the Navigators Guild. It's written right here.
What a guess. It's almost like I knew.
Like, they denied me 3 times. The Navigators Guild.
I deny
I'm
thee.
not
I
feeling the
deny
love
thee,
for them
Navigators
right now.
Guild. I deny thee.
I
3
think I might
times.
be abandoning them.
I think you are abandoning them. I don't think you like them very much.
They
might
rejected
not
me.
like.
I reject them.
They might
I'm
not
gonna-
like you. That's right.
I'm going to burn them down from the inside.
Oh, good. Here comes Fight Club.
All right, so 3 XP was it? 4 for some.
I think
got
Ben has 2.
5.
Ben has 2. Nolette has
Right.
5.
That right?
Should
No,
we go
4. I got 4.
Yeah, that sounds more like it.
4. Yeah.
4?
4. And Aman, maybe 4 as well. Yes, 4
Yeah.
as well.
1
right,
off,
cool.
I suspect.
Yes, you need 5 XP to build a talent up to 1. To buy a talent from 1 to 2 costs 10. To buy a talent from 2 to 3 costs 15.
I am going to try and get pilot. It's, I think, one of my
It's a beautiful thing. It'll be very, very well regarded. All right, so you can record experience on your character sheets. So please do.
How do we go about regaining our hope along the way?
Well, the ship's traveling for very long distance, so you'll regain it like between sessions.
Okay, cool.
It's more difficult to regain. I'm just saying it's more difficult to regain in a session, but it's explicitly very difficult to regain. Not impossible, just requires prep and planning and setup and other things.
How
Yep.
much health and hope and heart should we have? Because all of mine are 0.
Yeah, but you've got the dots, right?
You got to fill the dots in.
Oh, okay.
That's what confused me before.
Yeah, so
Okay.
So you just click on the furthest one.
Oh, so they just all go full?
Yeah, they all go full. Yep. So because you're big and fast, you've got 11 hit points. Your hope is not so crash hot. And then, yeah, that's right. Yep. And then you got heart. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's how it works. All right, so that's XP.